Look, I'm very excited that Gio's decided to extend his contract with us for 3 years. I basically said to him that I'm going to get a new ERS for his car, which means we're going to break the cost cap. And if the bastards want to sack me, then the new guy can be stuck with him in the car for the next 3 years. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. It is the Brazil sprint weekend this episode, and so we're going to be a little bit quick in getting stuff done here. But the two main things to catch you up on are that Giovinazzi has extended his stay with us, but more importantly, you'll see cost cap warnings are coming in every second day, it feels like, because we go and have a look at Giovinazzi's car. We have got ourselves a brand new ERS. There's a lot of good points, counterpoints in the comments, but it seemed the consensus, and certainly, well, maybe not the consensus, but certainly what I think made a little bit of sense to me is that we're not getting results right now anyway. Chances are we're probably going to break cost cap regardless, just having to replace existing parts on the cars. So let's go get some podiums. Let's make the board happy with the results on track, and then if they're worried about how we got there, then fair enough. You know, we'll take that on the chin. We'll get sacked, and we'll do something else. But yeah, I just thought that made a little bit more sense to me. Let's at least go out swinging, kind of thing, and try and get results. But yeah, Giovinazzi's contract, he will be here for starting in the 1st of January. We can see there. Just over 10 million a year, so a 3-year deal, and yeah, they can stuck with him. And I figure in 3 years' time, if we get through this season, we'd be looking at Mini and the other guy that's in Formula 3 now, whose name escapes me. We'd probably be looking to have those two guys as options anyway, if not in the car ahead of Giovinazzi. So yeah, that's all well and good. Not much else to catch you up on other than the fact we've broken cost cap. So let's go and have a look at what we're doing here in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Race prep, here we go here. So the Brazilian Grand Prix, we are expecting rain for the sprint race. Now, again, a reminder, the sprint race sets the grid for the race. It's different to how it is in real life. That's how it was supposed to be in real life. They changed it in real life, which is why it's different if you didn't know. So red is Sector 1, blue Sector 2, yellow Sector 3 for qualifying. We can see the sections by speed. We should all be very familiar with the track, of course. This is where Formula 1 was in real life this past weekend. We can see everything there. Expected strategies. It's going to be, in all likelihood, a 2-stop race. We can see there that the soft tyre is about 0.7 of a second a lap faster than the hard, with the middle sort of medium in the middle, which is where it should be, I suppose. And the deg is kind of, again, the drop-off is fairly consistent between the tyres. Historically, Russell and Mercedes have won here. Well, Russell's won last year, but Hamilton is the year before that. So Mercedes tends to do well here, but of course we're not too concerned about them anymore because they're essentially gone, aren't they, for us? So we're settling in for 4th in the constructors. So reach Q2. I'd like to think we could reach Q3 with Gio having the new ERS in the car. Fastest lap and a finishing position in the top 4. Sure, let's go for it. We need 2 cars in the top 6. Good luck to us for that in the qualifying and the race. 1 car in the top 6. I think we could just about manage that. All right, let's head off to Sao Paulo. So there we go. Confirmation of the weather. I'll go do free practice 1, and then we'll see how we do in qualifying. Alright, so we have done FP1. We've had the old parts in the car, the engine parts that is, so we are down the back. You see a lot of penalties for the sort of the back runners as well. So yeah, no, maybe not the greatest, but I did forget to hit record, so I've already done Q1, and as you would expect and hope for us, we got through without any too much trouble. So car setups aren't too bad either. So Q2, let's go see if we can get through that as well. 5th and 6th we were in Q1. Alright, we are on board with Mick, who is way too close to this Alpine in front. He's currently 12th and outside looking in, so it's not great. He should get a nice tow, which will be great for this part of the lap, but of course then he's got to go and do the middle part. He's actually got purple in the first sector. Our first runs were done on used tyres, as they usually are, so that is fine if we can get both cars through. Giovinazzi is 7th. I almost left him in and not waste a set of tyres. He did do 2 runs in Q1, so we've only done we haven't done even a personal best middle sector. But if Mick can get the draft and put in a good one, Giovinazzi's gone 2nd, Mick has gone 8th. So that's not too bad, is it? We'll take 2nd and 8th. So there we go, no major casualties, I'd say, there in Q2. So on to Q3, let's see where we're going to be starting the sprint from. Alright, I missed the start of the lap there, didn't I? Let's go on board with Mick. And let's see what we're doing here. We are currently 9th. Mick again didn't nail that lap on the used tyres the first run. And he's only done not a personal best first sector as well. Hamilton is flying. Giovinazzi has done a yellow first sector. He's currently 4th. Now, of course, he will take a penalty. I think is it 10 places for the ERS? I'm not actually sure how many places it is. So the higher up he can get, the better. But we see it again and again. I don't understand why our second run on the fresh tyres is not always the greatest. So Giovinazzi stays 4th. Mick is going to stay 9th. Is he? Yes, he is. And yeah, I don't quite understand why we've lacked so much pace there. But anyway, that's where we start the sprint from. Plus Giovinazzi's penalties. Mick's actually slowest. So that will be the sprint grid. Stroll is taking a penalty along with Giovinazzi and Norris. So Mick will probably move up, 7th or so, depending on what penalty Stroll's taking. All right, here we go with the sprint race. Now, of course, the penalty doesn't happen for Giovinazzi till the actual Grand Prix itself. So he does start 5th. Mick is 10th for this one. And then we'll go from there. You'll notice that we are trying to push the tyres a little bit. There's a lot of soft tyres. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's just happened there? Have we damaged the car? Giovinazzi. Aerodynamics are damaged. Rear wing. I mean, that's not great, is it?
So here we go.
What has happened? Did we get...
Cars jostling for position.
I mean, what has happened?
The contact between the cars, inevitable. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few words.
I mean, there's not much we can do about it. We've got to keep going, don't we?
And we've had a crash on track.
You can't change a rear wing during the race. And...
You have a problem?
Yeah. We've got a penalty, another penalty. A 5-second penalty, no doubt. Which seems a little harsh on us, to be honest. I don't really know what we did wrong there. But, with the investigation, no penalties. That looks like a bit of a coding error, doesn't it? So no penalties given. So why have we got this here? I don't trust that no penalties given. We've dropped the place and all that. And, yeah, now, given that there's a lot of soft-tyred runners, there's also some... Okay, so a little bit of everything, really. The soft tyres aren't going to get to the end. Now, we've got a little bit of a gap behind us. Another crash involving multiple cars. What is going on in this sprint race? It's absolutely crazy stuff. So, are we going to get... It's a carbon copy, and... Yeah, on that occasion, it looked like Albon maybe turning down a little bit. But it's perhaps the same crash that we got with Giovinazzi and whoever it was. But anyway, 24 laps. Everybody on soft tyre is going to struggle to get to the end, I would have thought. Mick has moved up a place. So, yeah, let's see how we go here. Alright, now I think the rear wing damage to Giovinazzi's car, I think it's made his DRS not work, if I'm honest. Which is not ideal. So we've let Schumacher go past him. Given that he's going to take a penalty in the race as well, yeah, it's really, really problematic that this is where we find ourselves. So Mick will try and go forward, and yeah, Verstappen is struggling, and Russell they're not driving away from us. They weren't even driving away from Giovinazzi. So Mick should, in theory, be able to catch and possibly pass them, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Alright, well, we have Mick with about 6-7 laps to go, all over the back of Russell and Verstappen, who are catching, or in fact, have probably caught at this point Hamilton and Stroll as well. And Mick does appear to have pace on all of them. Now, there's a few soft tyre runners in here as well. I think we can get Russell here. And their tyres are going to start and really, really hurt at this point. So the soft tyre runners we should be able to pick off. So that's Russell, Stroll and Hamilton. And then Max on a hard, as we should be able to get that there with a nice little bit of Urs around the outside. Nicely done, Mick. Not quite done yet, as we're now out of battery, which isn't ideal. But yeah, like I say, we should have DRS, and that should get that done. And then yeah, even Alonso on a soft tyre might be gettable for us. So yeah, well, we'll see how Mick can, how far up he can go. Giovinazzi is just kind of cruising around in 8th. There's no one really behind him. He's not catching anybody in front, and you can see there the damage on the rear wing, which is probably, I would imagine, why DRS isn't working for him. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess for Giovinazzi with that penalty to come, but I'm really worried about this. If he gets a penalty for being rear-ended, I will be slightly annoyed. But here we go. Can we go and get Stroll now, whose soft tyres appear to have given up the ghost? And this should be fairly simple up the inside there. So that's 5th for Mick. Hamilton's not a mile away. And Max is on a hard tyre. So probably not going to get Max. We could maybe get Hamilton though with 4 laps to go. Alright, so Mick is right behind Lewis Hamilton now with us coming across to start the final lap momentarily. And this again should be quite simple with DRS. We've been deploying as well. We should get a little bit more deploying to the first corner. And there we go. So up to 4th now for Mick, which is really, really good points obviously for us in the Constructors, although it's unlikely to matter too much. But we are ahead of both Mercedes, which is something. And Giovinazzi, he is catching Russell and Hamilton, whose tyres are absolutely gone. It's just a real shame that the DRS wasn't working for him, because I think he probably could have got it, well, at least 5th. He was ahead of Schumacher, of course. We moved him aside. And a couple more laps, we maybe even see Mick being able to challenge Verstappen in front. But Mick will start the Brazilian Grand Prix from 4th. Giovinazzi has moved up a place. Now, the question is, does he have a 5-second time penalty? And if so, it should only drop him back 1 spot. But we'll find out momentarily.
That's a checkered flag.
So he's dropped down to 11th. I'm not quite sure how that's happened. But anyway, Mick has stayed. He's kept 4th. So it'll be 4th and God knows where for Giovinazzi to start the race. So it's a 5-place grid penalty set to drop him down to 12th. So was that the penalty that got added on? That must have been what got added on at the end of the race there. Now, we need a new rear wing, so we can go and do that. You'll notice we've split the rear wings because I don't want to have to manufacture anything else. And so that is him. Now, what do we do in terms of a race strategy here? Soft, medium, soft is racy. Now, what do we have in terms of tyres? I forgot to check. Do we have... We've got 3 mediums. Okay, so I'm going to say... I can get on board with this, but let's go... Let's reverse it. So let's go medium, soft, medium. And then, hopefully, while everybody else is sort of in that middle stint, we can go onto a soft tyre and sort of have that tyre advantage over everybody. Giovinazzi's got to try and move forward, doesn't he? So I think we'll do that with him. Mick, on the other hand, now does Mick have a same sort of tyre allocation? Yeah, we've got loads and loads of mediums. And maybe we do something similar with Mick. Do we go medium, medium? And what that should allow us to do is push a little bit more, because the softs are going to be quite marginal, aren't they, to get to do that soft, medium, soft strategy, sorry. So that's what we'll do. And let us hope. Let us hope and pray that we can get some good results here, because we're going to need it, given that we're going to break cost cap any day now. So, I mean, we are going to break it. It's just that mathematically right now we haven't broken it. But in the next little while we will have broken it once weekly costs keep coming in. So, let's do this. So, welcome back. We can see Mick's second row. That looks like Giovinazzi back there a little bit further. We'll jump on board with Mick, given that he is the lead car for this one. And keep half an eye on Giovinazzi back there and see what he can do. So, are there many other cars on a soft tyre here? Not too many. So this is Mick's time to shine if he can get some overtakes done. Realistically, I think what he wants to do is just try and hold position. We're probably not as quick as Red Bulls and Aston Martins. If we can stay ahead of the Mercedes, though, I think that would be a fairly decent day's work for us. Giovinazzi, on the other hand, he needs to come forward, and he needs to do it quite quickly, because we need results, don't we? The fact that we've broken cost cap, we're going to need, if not a race win, we're definitely going to need podiums to keep the board happy with us. So, yeah, we'll hope for the best on that front, and it means cars in red will need to get some overtaking done. But I'll keep you up to date. This one's 71 lap race, short lap of course, but we'll see what happens. So Giovinazzi with a nice double overtake. He had got Magnussen down the straight, and then into turn 1 went and got Lance Stroll as well. So he's now up to 8th, which is very, very nice indeed. Unfortunately for Mick, he's lost out to Hamilton for now. Not the end of the world. Hamilton on the medium tyre, of course, we'd probably rather be ahead of him. But if he has a little bit more pace right now and he's able to bring us up to the back of that lead trio, then that's not the end of the world, is it? And George Russell's a little bit behind us, so we might use the opportunity actually to try and charge the tyres a bit as well. So, yeah, we're moving forward. Well, Mick's actually gone back one, but you know what I mean. We're in an okay position. Alright, we are about to come in for Mick's stop. Russell has got past him as well. He's got Giovinazzi right behind him, so there's no point putting this off any longer. We'll come in, get some fresh tyres on, and then we will try and perform an undercut, but that relies on a decent pit stop. 2.7 is, by our standards, lightning. Now, he should come out ahead of Ricciardo. That is certainly the hope here. Third fastest stop. I didn't know there'd been any other stops. And, in fact, we've come out a little bit further back than we might have hoped. So, yeah, we kind of needed to come out in free air, didn't we? But anyway, we've got some deployment we can use here. Giovinazzi he needs to kind of try and catch up with these guys in front if he can. But anyway, we'll deal with that momentarily. Let's see if we can make our way past these McLarens. Hulkenberger's coming to the pits. I thought Piastri was at Norris. That's a little rude, actually. If we can try and get some overtakes done here, please, Mick. It's kind of important for our race. These are older, medium tyres. We should be able to make fairly decent work of them. So we've got one out of the way there. We've got Gasly, Piastri, and Ricciardo up here, it looks like. We are just ever so slightly burning through the ERS. Let's go on to deploy now, and hopefully we're out of battery. We should have got a good enough launch off there to be able to get Piastri, and we might need to harvest a little bit now to. Yeah, I mean these soft tyres are going to be pretty done, aren't they? In this cars in front, and around the outside goes Gasly. We've probably harvested enough to make sure we have a proper launch off the straight into the onto the main straight. And we're about to find out as Giovinazzi is battling a little bit too hard for my liking with Ocon. But Mick's got another place there. If we can go and get Gasly now, we can start to use our new tyres and our free air, and hopefully he's made pretty good work of that, to be fair to Mick. So we're up to 11, and what sort of lap times has he done? A 13.5. Doing overtakes, he's roughly matched the pace of the Mercedes there. So let's see if he can go on with that now, and push on and start to get an undercut, ideally. And Giovinazzi is coming up towards his stop, as again he has Ocon there. We might just need to go a little bit more aggressive here and try and see him off. And yeah, Mick is done a 12.1 makes him the fastest car on track, doesn't it? So let's get this undercut done. All right, now Hamilton and Alonso, but more importantly, Hamilton is coming to the pits here. Are we going to be able to get the undercut done? He is in the pit exit lane, it looks like, and we are in front, are we? So Mick has managed to get the undercut on Hamilton. That should mean he gets the undercut on Russell as well. So that is absolutely brilliant. And we've got Giovinazzi now right behind Russell. Now you would imagine Russell's coming in, wouldn't you? Surely Mercedes are going to bring them in back-to-back laps. No, he's staying out. We have DRS on him. We are coming in, not this lap, the next lap. So that's why we're sort of pushing through these tyres a bit. So it doesn't really affect us too badly, I suppose, if we get Russell or not. But it would be nice to get an undercut on Hamilton. He's going to be flying, of course, now. So if we use a little bit of battery and try and get past George Russell, we probably want to actually wait now and get the DRS, don't we? And have a bit of a launch party here. And we should actually be able to get it done quite comfortably. Please. Thank you. We've got to pit this lap. We're going on to the soft tyres. And round the outside we go. Job done. Brilliant. Alright, Mick's up to 8th now with some pit stops as well. 7th as Magnussen comes in. Oh, wait, no, that's the soft tyres of Lewis Hamilton. So he's got us back. but those soft tyres will burn off relatively quickly. I think if we can stay with him, then that's all good. And we've got the pit stop about to come up here now for Giovinazzi. And we can probably push a little bit harder with Mick as well. But everything crossed. Giovinazzi's usually the one, I think, isn't he, that gets screwed by the poor pit stops. Actually, they're probably roughly level, and he's done it again. Jesus Christ, guys. Almost 7 seconds. Alright, we're roughly halfway. Now, everybody has made a stop, but the Red Bulls have come out on hard tyres, as has George Russell, suggesting a one-stop for them. So we've just got to bear that in mind. But we've got Mick Schumacher, if we have a look here, all over the back of Verstappen. Now, I'm not too concerned if he's behind him. Ideally, I kind of want him to stay in the DRS and get pulled along a little bit. Hamilton is the one we want to try and catch if we can. But it may obviously not prove possible. Giovinazzi, he is behind Perez. He's got Stroll behind him as well on a soft tyre, but older soft tyres. If we can get to the back of Perez, again, I don't think we're going to beat him, but it would be nice to be ahead of him. But 5 seconds, Giovinazzi's behind Mick now, and a little bit further behind Hamilton, obviously. That pit stop was an extra 4 seconds. Just absolutely hurt him, didn't it? Almost go as far as to say it destroyed his race. Alright, well, Mick has just seemed to have lost all pace. Perez and Giovinazzi have caught and passed him. Now, Giovinazzi on a soft tyre, but it shouldn't be happening, really. And, well, he's got to try and stay with them, and he's not even managing to do that. So Mick is falling away quite dramatically here, to be honest. We've got a yellow flag somewhere, but that's nothing. It's Stroll running wide, so that helps us because he was a little bit annoying. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where Mick's pace has gone. Giovinazzi could really, really do with getting past Perez here, though, while he's still got some life in these soft tyres of his. And this looks like it's going to be the one. So that should be that. Can we go now? We've got 8 seconds to Verstappen. We've got to kind of make this stick first, because there's going to be a DRS comeback for Perez, is it? No, we've got that. So that should be fine now. We'll go and burn off a little bit of extra fuel. Mick is coming in a few laps' time here. So... yeah, I don't want to take too much more life out of the tyres than we already are, to be honest. Not sure what's happened to Mick. Kind of wish he got the crappy stop, to be honest. And can Giovinazzi stay ahead of Perez? This is the big test now, isn't it, into turn 1. And he's catching, but it looks as though we've just about managed to hold on. And the last lap, we are almost a second a lap faster than Hamilton. Though our soft tyres are coming to the end of their usefulness. So, go away, Perez. Honestly, mate. Honestly. You're a hard tyre. Just leave us alone. He's not going away, is he? He's not going away. Anyway, is this Hamilton in front? No, 7 seconds up the road is Hamilton, so... yeah, it's looking like a 5th and 6th race for us, isn't it, this one? Which would be a little bit disappointing, if I'm honest. Alright, so we are coming in this lap with Mick. He just does not have any pace right now. So we're going to come in. We're actually going to stick a hard tyre on. Perez is doing, and so is Verstappen, they're doing fairly good lap times on the hard tyres. Now, yes, it's a Red Bull, not a Ferrari. But I'm thinking we can probably push this tyre quite hard to the end. And like I say, Mick doesn't really have the pace on the medium anyway. So, yeah, we can push this to the end and still have a little bit of life in it when we get there. So, I think that's a good choice for Mick. Giovinazzi will be coming in momentarily here. I think this is going to be his optimal lap to stop as we come across the line. Is it? Yes, it is. So we'll bring him in this lap. He will go on to a medium. And, yeah, Giovinazzi seems to have had quite good pace through the race. We can see we are just trying to top up a little bit. If we can get a move done, though, that would be nice. Can we just go and get ahead of him? No. Okay, that's fine. Just sit there, Giovinazzi. Just sit there. And, yeah, he should come out ahead of Mick. So we'd be looking at... I mean, Hamilton's the one that might be catchable. Russell is another one too, isn't it, on a one-stop that we really do need to try and catch and pass. But he's going to, of course, one-stop means he'll be on sort of older, slower tyres. Hang on a second. That looked like an actual pit stop. 2.9. Where does this bring him out? Don't you be a safety car now. I'll be so annoyed. So Ricciardo's locked up. That doesn't really affect our race in any way. So we come out 7th and 9th. There's still some cars around us that allow us pit stops. Magnussen, Ocon will allow us a stop. And that's pretty much it. So that'll move us up to 6th and 7th. And then we've got to try and run down these Mercedes if we can. And yeah, that's going to be not the easiest thing to do. We've got a 10-13 second gap to Hamilton. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can do, obviously. Hopefully, we'll be able to manage it. Can we go and get K-Mag here? Mick, that'll be very nicely done. Thank you, sir. And we will move on to the next ones. Alright, so we're coming up for about 12 or so laps to go here, 13 laps to go, something like that. Now, Giovinazzi, we're 6th and 7th right now. We are looking at catching George Russell. We're catching him in about a second a lap right now with both cars. The gap, 6 seconds, and then so 12 seconds or so back to Mick. Now, Mick is unlikely, therefore, to get there. That we can push the petrol a little bit now. But I think Giovinazzi should be able to get this done. Yeah, they're both doing 10. They're catching him quite quickly. Mick might even be able to get this done, you know. He needs to really, really push. But let's go. He can go full attack, actually. His tyres are going to get there. So, come on, Mick. Let's get you both up past Russell. Alright, so Giovinazzi has caught the back of George Russell. So this should... We'll get deploy going just to make sure of it, but this should be fairly straightforward, I would have thought. Maybe not. Can we get him into turn 3 or 4, whatever it is, this next one? DRS and ERS and everything else. Not quite happening for us right yet. If we're making him go defensive, hopefully it'll slow him up a little bit more and give Mick a chance. Mick is going to struggle, to be honest. I'm not sure he's going to get there. But if we can hold up a little bit, and we've got past him there, have we? No, not quite. That should be relatively job done. We'll go to neutral. Do we have the DRS? We don't. Is Russell going to come back at us? No, he is not. Doesn't look like. So now it's up to Mick. Mick is 8 seconds back. I wonder if there's a way to try and tell Giovinazzi to hold him up, try and back him up into him, but I can't see a way to do that. Yeah, so there's nothing we can really do to help Mick. He's going to have to do it himself. I mean, maybe we should be more concerned about trying to stay ahead of George Russell, to be honest, if he's got DRS behind us, because he might be about to come back past. Is he? There he is. We should get him back, because we should have DRS now, and there we go. I mean, this isn't bad. If we can, as long as we end up ahead of him, if we can squabble with him, it'll slow him up, won't it? And Giovinazzi realistically isn't going to go any further up anyway. And Mick is... I mean, he's not coming at a great rate of knots, but he is coming. 10-7 to 11-1 Giovinazzi, but it's 3 laps, so he's not going to get there, is he? Let's just make sure Giovinazzi does stay ahead of him. And he is slowly starting to pull that gap away now, isn't he? So, is 5th going to be good enough for the board? You would say probably not. They might be satisfied, but they're certainly not going to be pleased with it, are they? So, and we haven't got this yet either. We do actually need to make sure we stay here. So, we'll come back hopefully for the last lap, and it won't be too much of an issue. We've just about broken DRS, not quite. So we are about to finish the race. It's going to be Alonso winning it. There he is there, just winning it now. We're going to have Verstappen second. Jesus, he's not going to make the line here. Hang on a second. I've been too busy not paying attention to Mick, and he's going to throw away a 7th here, is he? Just coast. Just coast, Mick. Just coast. We've got 5th with Giovinazzi. I'm really worried about this petrol. Is he going to cross the line? There it is there. Jesus Christ, Aussie villain. Pay attention, man. He got pretty close to him in the end, though. So, up 7 for Giovinazzi to 5th, down 3 for Mick. He just seemed to lack a little bit of pace in the middle of the race there. Not 100% sure what happened. So if we look at the Drivers' Championship, 6th for Giovinazzi, he cracks to 200. Mick cracks 150. And with 2 races to go, still an outside chance for Giovinazzi to go and get 4th, but more likely he might pit Stroll for 5th, but it's looking like he's going to stay where he is. Maybe should be more concerned about Russell behind him. The Constructors, not a bad race for us, but yeah, like I said many times, we're going to come 4th, and there's not been much doubt about that for a little while now. So it is Vegas next. I'm really excited for that one, but let's have a quick look at the board. What did they think of that race? Race performances disappointed. They didn't like it. Still medium confidence, but of course the finances, we are about to break financial fair play. We've got 36 million in the bank. It's so frustrating, isn't it? I mean, it's the point of financial fair play, obviously, is to make this happen, but yeah, we've got so much money that we could spend that we just can't. So Vegas, we need a win, don't we? We need a win, or else we're going to get sacked. Let's hope it's Vegas. Take care.